So we'll be continuing our discussion on Bhagavad Gita. We have discussed in 4.7 यदा श्रीनिवास प्रभु ये वेल्डर बाहर इसको बोल सकते हैं वेल्डिंग अभी नहीं करे फ्लक्चुएट हो रहा है यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. Before that we have discussed why the Lord how the Lord appears ajopi san avyatma, and 4.7 we have heard why the Lord appears. So whenever there is decline in religion and increase of irreligion, the Lord appears. But then our objection can be raised by Arjuna that establishment of dharma can also be done by your representatives like any Radarshi can establish dharma. Why you have to personally come? So now the Lord will tell a very confidential reason for his appearance. So you please chant with me. Paritrāṇāya sadhūnām
आय साधूनां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
संभवामि युगे युगे
संभवामि युगे युगे
परित्राणाय साधूनां
परित्राणाय साधूनां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
संभवामि युगे युगे.
संभवामि युगे युगे.
Chant.
परित्राणाय साधूनां
परित्राणाय साधूनां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
संभवामि युगे युगे.
संभवामि युगे युगे. I think most of the devotees will know the meaning of this shloka. Paritranaya sadhunam. Tran and paritran. Tran means deliverance and paritran means very nice deliverance. Sadhunam, those who are his devotees. Sadhu means devotees. As we will hear from Bhagavad Gita 9.30, Mam chayo vabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sorry, no, not that. Bhajate mam ananya bhak, how does it go? Yeah, but how does it start with? Api chetasu duracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhure vasumantavya samyak vyavastito visa. A person who is rendering pure devotional service to Krishna, that person is sadhu. Even accidentally he may perform some wrong deeds. So that Prabhupada will say, explain like that. Sadhu means a devotee of Krishna. Sadhu does not mean is only in a dress of sadhu. A person in dress of sadhu can also be a sadhu, but actually definition of sadhu means nice. Sadhu means nice. So sadhu is a person who is a devotee of Krishna. This is one. It's called Anvay. Direct reason of the Lord's appearance is to deliver the devotees. What is the deliverance meant for devotees will be explained in the commentary. Vinashaya cha duskritam. This is anusahit karya, gaun karya. His main point is to deliver the devotees, and as a side business, he also kills the demons, which can be done by his representatives also. Is it clear? Dharma sansthapanarthaya. That is very important, very easy to understand. Sansthapan artha. Arthaya is in dative for establishing dharma. Sansthapan. Sthapan you understand, to establish, and sansthapan would mean very nicely established. ठीक है, अब तो संस्कृत समझने लग गए होंगे. Sambhavami yuge yuge. I manifest or myself in one millennium after another millennium. You can understand that it's not that once the dharma is established, it won't deteriorate. It has tendency by the influence of time, people tend to drift away from dharma. The reason being is because in following dharma there is austerity. Do you agree? Can you see? In following dharma, there is austerity. And that's why if there is no force to uplift dharma or establish, it will just get withered away. People's inclination to follow dharma gets withered away. Withered से सूख जाता है, dried up as the time progresses. I think these things are sentences are clear to you. Now, before we go forward, because I have already said this is very, very instructive for us, because if we don't hear Krishna Katha Siddhant, then our resolve to perform Bhagavad Dharma may also decrease or wither away. And this is many times seen in many devotees. Because you cannot perceive the results of bhakti immediately, can you? You can't. So we have to regularly hear Shastra, and that's why you see Srila Prabhupada saying 1 hour morning class, at least 1 hour evening class, and then 2 hours of chanting. I'm just relating it to our sadhana bhakti also as a side point. We'll go forward. So I'm not going for word and word meanings. You'll understand the shloka directly. Translation: to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Now, before I go forward, I think you might be thinking in your mind that in order to inspire you devotees to come to my class, I'm saying class is important. But it is not like that. It is a siddhanta. You can attain Krishna only by two things: either Shastriya Shraddha, faith in scriptures, or natural inclination to serve Krishna. Now, natural inclination to serve Krishna is very rarely found. जप करना नैसर्गिक रूप से अच्छा लगे, naturally you like to chant japa and do bhakti, is very rare. That is also from previous impressions. So for most of us, we are jaundiced. So you must have heard or you must have felt whenever you hear the glories of certain things from scriptures, then you somehow feel an inspiration to do that thing, like paying obeisances, doing circumambulation, going to see Krishna, because directly, immediately, you don't see the results. Although the results are going into your account. My dear devotees are able to understand something what I'm speaking. That's why regularly we have to nourish our faith by hearing of scriptures. And if possible, as a dedicated activity. I'm saying if possible because many people have to right now might be cooking or something like that, which is also good. We have no solution for that. But you will always feel, is it not, all of us feel that there is some kind of upliftment of our faith when we hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Always, is it not? So let us go into Gita Bhushan commentary. So the link is in the sense of maybe Arjuna asked the question or raised objection to what the Lord has said, that he comes to establish dharma. But your devotees, the saintly kings, appear in order to wipe out the rise of adharma and destruction of dharma. So why do you say that you appear in order to do this? Are you able to follow? We cannot imagine how powerful the kings were. What is that? Priyavrat Maharaj, for ages together, I don't know, crores of years he was ruling without any objection. We can't imagine. See, we think America is powerful or this particular country is powerful. In just a matter of few years, they can be just vanquished, finished. Who cares about the Roman Empire now? Who cares about Rome now? At one point, Roman Empire was all over the world practically, is it not? Who cares about England right now? Nothing against them, but I'm just saying, who cares about them now? Not much, is it not? At one point of time, because of the time influence, they were all over the world. But still, maximum 1200 years, something like that. Nothing in compared to what these kings have ruled for. Bharat Maharaj, I'm talking about Shakuntala's Bharat, and also Bharat Maharaj. Like lakhon, like, I don't know, so many years, millions of years like that. That's quite interesting. So what I'm just explaining this that the Rajarshis are competent to establish dharma, and that's why Lord in this fourth chapter has told that he gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, and then Vivaswan gave it to other Rajarshis, saintly kings. Is very clear? Okay. So that is not the sole purpose of Lord's appearance. That is very clear from this point. Lord Krishna speaks now. My devotees are absorbed in relishing my form and qualities. They long to see my form and thus suffer from not seeing my form. So now are you able to understand what is the paritran? What is the deliverance? Deliverance from the pain of separation from Krishna. So you see how subtle this shloka is. I appear in order to deliver them from this suffering by showing my attractive form directly. So you see, when there is a Rajarshi, still Krishna may not appear, and there is no one who will give trouble to devotees. Still they have a trouble. Are you able to follow? See, if you take the shloka on its face value, then you will say, yes, 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 we have been tormented so many by so many non-devotees, and definitely there must be so many people who must be giving trouble to devotees. That's the physical trouble, stopping them from devotional service. Is it not? That is the first, how to say, first take of the shloka, of the first line. That's what you will think. But there can be, or not can be, there have been Rajarshis under whom dharma was flourishing. Don't go too much back. Just see Ashoka, or not Ashoka, Chandragupta Maurya. There's so much dharma, is it not? But Krishna was not coming at that time. So I hope you are able to understand what we are trying to say. For devotees, it's not the physical difficulties per se, but basically the feelings of separation from Krishna. They want to see Krishna directly. That's why they are feeling the separation. That's why that is their difficulty. So in order to remove this difficulty, what difficulty? Not being able to see Krishna, Krishna comes. Okay. I also now also has to be highlighted. I also appear to destroy those performing evil deeds, Duskritam, persons like Ravan and Kansa who torment devotees and who cannot be killed by anyone except me. Also, what does also mean? ये करने जा रहे हैं ये भी. So also means that the Lord also, main thing is to deliver the devotees, and killing is a side business. Just like you have come here to hear class, that is your main purpose, and you get some air driven by the fan, also a side business, and you will also get prasadam after that. That is the main business. That is also one business we have, very important business also. So you are able to understand. It's called anusangit karya. In this world also, suppose you come to Vrindavan, somebody is from outside, and you say, I'm going to Loi Bazaar. Now, when you say I'm going to Loi Bazaar, does it mean that you are going for only one purpose? No. Shopping is there, but do you think you're only going to buy one tilak and come back? Not only do kaj, many kaj. Is it not? I think Ayushi Mataji is also doing her job right now. Yes. So you see, she can do job also and Gita class also. So we are also multitaskers. And there is no harm in doing that because our Pitaji, our Krishna, father is also multitasker. So when he comes here, so his main task is to deliver the devotees, and side business is to kill the demons. And it's quite interesting. He kills persons like Ravan and Kansa who torment my devotees and cannot be killed by anyone except me. Now, do you remember what was the benediction which is given to Ravan?
You cannot be killed by man and
No, you can only be killed by human being. You can only be killed by human being. So that's why Lord came in the form of a human being. Kansa also could not be defeated by anyone. I think you must have already watched that video where he defeats all the demons, and it is not unbona fide. It is from Garga Samhita. He defeats various demons, and he has all of them under him. Only difficulty I have not been able to resolve is why Kansa did not fight with the Kurus. He was so powerful. He also had Jarasandh on his side. Why he never fought with the Kurus, Bhishma? Maybe because of Bhishma. I don't know. Matlab, was he not that powerful that he could fight with Bhishma? That's a question. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not expert in that, and he's already dead, so he cannot answer me. So Kansa could only be killed by Krishna. Is there any praman? Very famous praman. Sab bhul gaye. When Mother Devaki was taken, then what was the forecasting, so to say, that the eighth son of Mother Devaki will kill you. So that means eighth son will kill you means nobody else can kill you. You should understand that. So like that, so Lord appears. I also appear to spread dharma, pure bhakti yoga, with meditation on me and deity worship only to me, and Vedic dharma as well, which cannot be spread by anyone other than me. So now this is very confidential. You may say in the previous shloka also dharma was mentioned, but here it is very much elaborated that special Bhagavad dharma, which will, by the performance of which, jiska anushthan karne se, by the performance of which a person will go back to Krishna, that means go back to Godhead, stay with Krishna eternally. That dharma can only be established by Krishna. And you will see very soon in our Hindi classes, Mother Kunti explains various reasons which people give why Krishna appears in this world. And the main reason is Shravana Smarana Arahani, to establish the process of hearing about him, chanting about him, and worshipping him. Avidya Kama Karmi, those shlokas will come, and very nicely mentioned it. Shunvanti Gayanti Grinantya Bhishnashah Smaranti Nandanti Tavehitam Jana Taiva Pashyanti Acharena Tavakam Bhava Pravaho Param Bhava Pravaho Paramam Padambujam, something like that, last line. But first part is very Shunvanti, those who hear about you, Gayanti, and this thing about you. Shunvanti Gayanti Grinanti. Again, if there is nobody, then they sing to themselves. Shunvanti Gayanti Grinanti Abhishnasha, constantly. Smaranti Nandanti, and remembering you, and by that becoming happy, remembering all these things, what they do in terms of their activities of Lord Krishna. Tave ihatam jana, those people who are glorifying your activities, hearing about you, remembering them, becoming happy. Taiva pashyanti achirena tavakam, they will only and certainly see your lotus feet. After a long time, no, achirena tavakam. Bhava pravaho param padambujam. Your lotus feet stop this flow of birth and death. Bhava pravaha. Bhava pravaha samajh rahe? It's like a flow of the river. It is constantly happening. Similarly, by seeing your lotus feet, everything gets, all this bhava pravaha becomes stopped. Are you able to follow? So, because this is the result of hearing and chanting about Krishna, that certainly a person will go to Krishna. So, hence, the Lord comes to establish this. Now, you say, why the Lord has to come? Bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. Yes. So now, because when the Lord will come, He will do some activities here. When some ihita, some activities are there, then there is something to talk about. कुछ नहीं ग्रहण कर रहे हैं. Is doing some, Lord is doing something in Golok Vrindavan, not something. He's doing so many things. How will you know about it? Is it not? So when the Lord comes here, then He does some, not again some, lot of leelas, pastimes, which are again noted down by the acharyas like Srila Vasudev, and then simply discussing it again and again, then we become qualified to see Krishna. Are you able to follow the most confidential reason for the Lord to appear? Okay. See, when the Lord appears, Devotees who are at that time, they can see him. Clear? Fine, very good. Like Mahaprabhu appeared, so they could see him. But the Lord is not targeting only those devotees who are directly participating in his pastime. तो समझ रहे हैं? Not only is also thinking about those people who are going to come in the future. कुछ समझ रहे हैं बात को? He was also thinking about our, what is your name? Rahul, to I know. What was your Zoom name? Radha Charan Prabhu. And he also thinking about Amol Dirik. And is thinking about Anish Krishna. Do you think he can think about you? Yes. We know all the children he's thinking about. Quite amazing. He had planned 5,000 years back that you will hear Bhagavad Gita. That's why he spoke Bhagavad Gita. Do you agree that he knows? Yes. How do you know? What is the Shastri Praman? Sarvasya Chaham Hridisannivishtu. This is one. Another one we have heard. Bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kashana. He knows everything. Okay. So, I think it is very clear. To deliver the devotees, you have understood. To kill the demons, you understood. And what dharma? Pure bhakti yoga. Kevala bhakti. To establish that, the Lord comes. And deity worship only to me. That's quite interesting, is it not? Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru. I think now it's very clear. And also establish as a side business Vedic dharma, Varnashram dharma for those who are qualified for that. These are the three reasons for my appearance. At those times when it is necessary, I appear. Yuge yuge. Again, we must remember, yuge yuge means you can't fix a time. Hey, pehle kyun aaye? You cannot say, Krishna, Are, aapka time to hi likha tha. Your time was this, and why are you appearing before this? He, by his own Maya was Maya Vayunam Jnanam Cha, by his Sambhavami Atma Maya. If you remember those shlokas we have discussed in 4th chapter. So the Lord, by his own omniscience means knows, and Jnanam, and Vayunam means wisdom. By his wisdom, he knows by two things, by his power of omniscience and by his power of wisdom. I may know everything about a situation, but I may not be wise enough to take a proper decision. कुछ ग्रहण कर पा रहे हैं? कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? कैसा wisdom घर पे रख के आए? We may know something is going wrong. मालूम चल रहा है गड़बड़ हो रहा है. But we may not have the wisdom to do what is correct. So both the things are needed. Do you agree? I remember first service which was given to me in Goshala was to make the Brahmacharya ashram. And there was some grass fruit which was supposed to be put. And I called a welder, incidentally, who was on drugs. Not drugs, but what is it? Afim. That fellow burned the whole thing down. And I was looking at it. The fire was blazing. And I was very much aware the fire is blazing. But no wisdom what to do at that time. नहीं समझ रहे हैं इस बात को? We had a fire in temple also, I think 3 or 4 years, I don't know, 5 years back. My office was blazed. First ashram, then office. But people were not knowing what to do exactly. अंतर समझ रहे हैं? दोनों चीजें होनी चाहिए. So the Lord, by his omniscience, that means knowing where, in which universe, आगे जाइए आप थोड़ा. You are thinking only about your universe, selfish people. No, the Lord has billions and billions of universe. Now see the management. He knows when dharma is getting reduced in which universe, in which planet, in which country. Now it's understood? Which place exactly? Yeah. Among which people. And then by his wisdom, he comes to establish it. It's very simple. So we only think about from our reference frame of our universe. So it appears to be a very simple shloka, but the management is very, very complicated. If you remember, we have discussed in Bhagavatam, Kale na gabhin rung hasa, that by the influence of time, dharma is getting reduced. Dharma vyatikaram. Vyasadeva could see, but others could not see. By the subtle influence of time, dharma was getting reduced, but they could not see that. So you understand, wisdom and knowledge are needed, so he appears. There is no impropriety in the Lord in killing the evil persons, for by bestowing on them the bliss of liberation on killing them, the cruelty is transformed into an act of mercy. I will say something which will be very much difficult to understand. So, hear carefully. When this is from Laghu Bhagavatamrit by Srila Rupa Goswami, and he gives lot of Shastric evidence for this. When Lord Vishnu or any other Vishnu expansions of Krishna, they kill a demon, and so then that demon does not become liberated. What did I say? Does not become liberated. He will be promoted maximum to Swarga or even higher destinations, but not liberated from the cycle of birth and death. But the word is Hatari Gati Dayak. Hatari Gati Dayak. The person whom Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, kills. If he kills means obviously he has to be a demon. He becomes liberated. Like Putna and other cases. Now it can vary a lot because some people will get Sayuji Mukti and some people may go to Vaikuntha. But only Krishna does it. Now you may say, does Lord Vishnu or Lord Ram do not have that potency? Yes, they have. But by their sweet will, just like they don't express the full strength of Krishna, so to speak, similarly, they do not express full mercy as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, expresses. Or rather, I would say Krishna in other Vishnu forms, that will make it more clear, does not fully manifest his power, does not fully manifest his mercy, and fully his whatever, all other opulences by his own sweet will.
But he is more merciful to God of that.
He is more merciful as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So, he is not different. He's same person, is it not? Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu are avatari. They are not avatars. Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Krishna, they are not same, different person. They are Swayam, he's Swayam Rupa Krishna only. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna only. Only the external Kanti is different. Yeah. That is no difficulty. Now, why he is counted as an avatar of Vishnu? For that, if you understand Hindi, you please hear our discussion on 1.3.28. He is not counted as avatar of Vishnu. People think like this, and Sutta Goswami has spoken like this. And in order to clarify, he says, Eta chansa kalapam sah Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuke. So, that is a very big discussion. That has to, we don't have scope for that much here. I mean, I have, but devotees also have some other services to do. So, sometimes I feel we should also discuss Bhagavatam in English. So, once we complete Bhagavad Gita, probably we should start Bhagavatam in English also. Brihat Bhagavatamrit, I don't think in this life we can do. Anyhow, somehow that we got like, and this is unlicensed class. So, we are somehow they're doing it. Cheating to teaching. Cheating for teaching. Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu or holy man is a man in Krishna consciousness. So this we have already discussed. I'll just again repeat for you. Api cheta suduracharo bhajete mam ananya bhag. I think it's not clear because you have not heard this in proper way probably. Ananya bhag means he only takes to the process of devotional service. He may have so many difficulties in his heart consciousness, but he has a firm faith that simply by executing bhakti I'll become perfect. Ananya bhag samajh rahe? Ananya, na anya, no other. He has no other business except to serve Krishna. Even if he fails to do so, quite interesting. Even if he fails to do it sometimes, but pakka bana liya, he's fixed in his resolution, samyak vyavasthito hisa, that I will serve Krishna no matter what. Even if I have to go to hell for my offenses, I will not stop serving Krishna for a moment. He will not have to go to hell. Please hear A when I say A. He does not have to go to hell, because this kind of exalted determination to serve Krishna cannot come in a person who has a pure consciousness. But just because of previous impression, something, he may do something wrong. Still, he is considered sadhu, and sadhu only, nothing else. This is a very rare gift of association of devotees. By associating with devotees who are such kind of sadhus, we also become such kind of sadhus. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. So it's very easy to understand. He is fixed. Bhakti karna hai. No matter what contaminations I have, and because of that contamination, no matter how much time, how and how many times, and in which way I fall down, I'm not going to give up bhakti. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है but this is, I mean, one of my favorite shlokas. But and the example is given just like the moon is there. The moon gives illumination to everybody despite there are some spots. You agree? Very beautiful example. Very nice example. There are some spots in the moon. Still, the moon can illuminate everyone. And not only illuminate, cooling illumination. This is very, very profound shloka. I mean, I can't jump to ninth chapter right now, but I have to be patient. Very nice shloka. And Duskritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. So that is understood. Even Tatastha, who does not care for Krishna consciousness, is also Duskriti. समझ रहे हैं Tatastha? Who is neutral to Krishna is also Duskriti. कुछ पाप किए हैं इसलिए कृष्ण के प्रति न्यूट्रल है. But only thing is those who are neutral can be made at least forward gear, is it not? But there are some people who are in backward gear. They're going away from Krishna. Such miscreants or duskritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas a person who's 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well cultured. Now, you know that which shloka Prabhupada is quoting? Namam duskritino mudha prapadyante naradhama maya pratyajnana asuram bhavamashrita. And Prabhupada has very nicely used the word decorated with, what is it? Mundane education. You know how we decorate ourselves? BTech, MTech, PhD, whatever, all these are called decoration. Just like sometimes people put bangles here, Mataji's, and put some ornaments here, and all these things. So in this way, 1.11 degrees an ornament. And this ornament only makes us more ugly. Which ornament? All this mundane education system. If we actually think, I can feel myself whenever I say I'm BTech from IIT Kanpur, I just somehow feel a false ego getting inflated. Acha. You always see, and we are targeting for that also. Others who are also following in my footsteps. Yad yad acharati shreshthas tat tat eva tadocanaha. So they want to also follow in my footsteps, is it not? Yes, Prabhuji. Now they actually say, Prabhuji, you have proved yourself that you are a fool. So we also want to prove to the world that we are a fool. Then we will become intelligent. In English also I can make some taunts, is it not? I was reflecting upon it. Naradji was not proving anything to anybody. That's why he got Krishna. Quite interesting. He was proving to Krishna that I am a sincere, humble servant. What is it not? Quite interesting. I was getting this reflection yesterday. He did not prove anything to anyone. Nothing. Nobody knew also that he will become an associate of the Lord except he himself and Krishna. So we can only prove ourselves foolish in this material world. I have proved it nicely. I have a certificate of foolishness, and others can also follow in my footsteps. We are most welcome and waste our time in this material world. कौन सा श्लोक बोला था? Namam Duskrituro Mudha, 7 point I don't know, but 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita. So that person is not called sadhu. The person who is fully engaged in Krishna service by body, mind, and words is called sadhu. Just like Prahlad Maharaj was not, we don't know how much marks he got in the exams of Shand and Amarka. Most probably he got good also. He was very brilliant. But, and it's amazing, even if he may be not well cultured, here very simple point. Because he's engaged in bhakti with determination, everything will come to him. That is why he's called sadhu. And very quickly, Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvat Shantim Nigachati Kaunteha Pratijanahi Name Bhakta Pranasya. Beautiful shlokas. It won't take much time if we execute the path of pure devotional service. It won't take much time to become actually Dharmatma. And a devotee who sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, he can very easily see his anarthas actually dissolving and disappearing very fast, which people struggle for years together. But if you actually apply bhakti properly, you can actually see clearing of consciousness. Actually see that anarthas are disappearing. बहुत कुछ बोल सकते हैं, but हम इधर बस यहीं पे इसको बोल के आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons Ravana and Kansa. So Prabhupada is clarifying this point that now why the Lord does not appear personally. Cheaty मारने के लिए क्या है? These are cheaties. The demons are also not proper demons. So what is the point of the Lord to appear to kill? For the Lord, he can just send his Karuna virus or something. They can very easily kill all the demons. You remember, I don't know whether you know, but I heard that Hitler just committed suicide or something. Finished. He was a very big demon, but he just committed suicide. Not very difficult to kill them, so he does not have to appear for that. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees. You understand unalloyed? I think many devotees don't understand what is the meaning of unalloyed. See, alloy means there are mixture of various things, and it doesn't mean it is too much. If you have studied chemistry, कोई पढ़ा है chemistry यहाँ पे? एक दो लोग पढ़े थे, ठीक. So steel, for example, is primarily iron, but some 12% carbon and for 1% manganese, and that's why it's called manganese steel. Very, very less. So now, unalloyed bhakti means we are doing bhakti and not taking shelter of any other process called karma, jnana, yoga, etc. Does it make sense? He doesn't have faith. Even Chakravarti Pas says the devotee has a determination. Even if he falls down, he says, even if Brahmaji comes and offers me the process of karma and jnana, I won't take it. He puts it like that. Brahmaji bhi aake denge to hum swikar nahi karenge. Just like the chatak bird is only looking towards Krishna. Very beautiful. My sister beat her daughter in the morning, and in the afternoon again the daughter was coming to sister only. Then I was telling her the example which Maharaj gave. Sometimes the mother will slap the child, but the child will, even crying, will again go back to the mother only. Very nice example. Very nice. So Krishna may give trouble, Krishna may give happiness or distress or whatever. The devotee will only look towards Krishna. He will never give up Krishna. That is the point you have to understand. Unalloyed samajh rahe na? He won't take shelter of other processes to advance in Krishna consciousness. And it's quite easy, is it not? Who will do a yajna when you can chant Hare Krishna mantra? Who? I mean, somebody would be really, I will not use any word, but not so intelligent. I will use soft words. But the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees who are always harassed by the demoniac. And you also remember what is most painful to the devotee? This feeling of separation from Krishna. The demon harasses the devotee even though the latter may happen to be his kin. Although Prahlad Maharaj was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. And you know about the persecutions. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kansa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was to be born of them. So, one point we have to learn, this is the whole basis of seventh canto, that people are naturally very affectionate to their kids, even if the kid is bad. Even if the child is bad, they love their children. I think all the children will vouch for it. I don't think any Matajis and Prabhujis here are are listening to their parents. Yes, yes, they are. Everybody is saying, nodding his head, even if their video is off. So they are nodding their head that yes, yes, we don't listen to their parents. I asked one devotee here, do you listen to your father and mother? Sometimes. Not always. Not always. Still, do they love you? Yes, they love you. So now, what to talk of a child like Prahlad Maharaj? How he can be so much persecuted? That was the question which will be raised in seventh canto. So the answer is very simple. Because he was a devotee of Vishnu. यही गलती थी कि भगवान विष्णु की भक्ति कर रहे थे. That was his only fault. That he was. Prabhupada says that in a taunting way. That was his only fault, that he was a devotee of Vishnu, which is the most exalted quality. And you have heard in the Bhagavad, Asaram, you are useless. That's what Hiranyakashipu is telling to Prahlad Maharaj. And then also, again, Vasudeva and Devaki. How, Devaki, cannot imagine Vasudeva and Devaki, what their exalted qualities they had. When Vasudeva was born, the demigods had, trumpets. They beat trumpets. हमारे संग कुछ हुआ किसी को? When we were born, I don't know what was played. Maybe some chammach and I don't know. So do they do that? Chammach and thali, maybe, but not by demigods, definitely. So can you imagine what exalted person he was, and how much Kansa was loving her? Immediately ready to kill. So you see, this is a regular thing which is happening. Don't be disturbed if the parents are against you just because you are doing bhakti. History repeats itself. This is repeating. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं. So nothing. So all these things were. So Prabhupada is explaining on this point how they are getting tormented. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Kansa, but both were performed simultaneously. So it's very easy to understand. Therefore, and you should remember, or if you don't know about it, I'm telling you, when Krishna was fighting with the wrestlers, Mushtika, Chanur, and Bal and Toshal, both of them were fighting. Still, he had no plan to kill Kansa. Only when Kansa had told that you kill Vasudeva and Devaki, we kill Nanda Maharaj, then Krishna actually killed him. And it's quite interesting that Kansa was not the only Mamaji. His brothers were also there, but they were not killed by Krishna. Because it's very bad to kill one's Mamaji. Mamaji means maternal uncle. So they were killed by Balramji. Okay. Balram can kill. Like that. Therefore, it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. So this is very easy to understand. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj, the following verses, Madhya Leela 20.263-264, summarize these principles of incarnation. सृष्टि हेतु यही मूर्ति प्रपंच अवतारे से ईश्वर मूर्ति अवतार नाम धरे मायातीते परव्यो में सबार अवस्थान विश्व अवतारी धरे अवतार नाम. सृष्टि हेतु जय मूर्ति प्रपंच अवतार, for the purpose of creation, the form prapanche in this word, avatare, he descends. Say Ishwar Murti, that form of the Lord, Avatar Namadhare, is known as that avatar. There are various forms of the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha, but that form which descends in this material world is called avatar. समझ में आ रहा है? Avatarati iti avatar, descends, one who descends. Not that you will call all the Vishnu forms in Vaikuntha as avatar. Because all of them are not descending to material world. So those who are descending, they are called avatars. Clear hai? Purusha avatar and so many guna avatars like that. Mayatīte paravyome sabar avasthan. Mayatīte means beyond Maya. Paravyome, that means in the spiritual sky. Sabar avasthan, they are all situated. That means all the Vishnu forms. Vishwe avatari dhare, when they descend into this Vishwa material world, dhare avatar nam, and then they are known as avatar. So meaning of avatar is very clear, and the word incarnation does not clearly convey the import of the word avatar. See, incarnation means they have a material body in which some divinity descends. That is the exact meaning of incarnation. Incarnate. But avatar means they descend in their spiritual form. कुछ अंतर समझ रहे हैं ना? So when we use the word incarnation, because that is the only word in English, but you have to understand the different and subtle meanings of these words. The avatar, you see, the avatar or incarnation, there is no other word, so incarnation is used. The avatar or incarnation of Godhead descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation, and the particular form of the personality of Godhead whose so descent is called an incarnation or avatar. So now, again addressing the question that why Krishna is called avatar? Because he descends. He goes back and he performs pastimes. Avatari is also avatar, but avatar is not avatari. समझ रहे हैं? Krishna also descends like other avatars, so he is also an avatar of himself. You can say like that. Swayam Rupa Krishna. But he is avatari, that means he is the source of all the avatars. Because he is the source of all Vishnu expansions. Makes sense? Demigods are not avatars. Because we are very clearly different. Those who are beyond Maya, Paravyome, the demigods are not coming from the spiritual world. Sometimes we use this word loosely, that iske avatar, uske avatar, but you don't understand the meaning of the word avatar. Avatar means he has to descend from the spiritual world into material world, not within the material world here and there. Okay. Such incarnations are situated in the spiritual world. Clear now? The kingdom of God. When they descend to the material creation, they assume the name avatar. I think now it's very clear, Shivam Prabhu, is it not? They have to come from the spiritual world. There are various kinds of avatars such as Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Lila avatars, Shakti Avesh avatars, Manvantar avatars, and Yuga avatars, all appearing on schedule all over the universe. But Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord, the fountainhead of all avatars. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. That means there is no other divinity beyond Krishna. Lord Shri Krishna descends for the specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavan pastimes. I think it's very easy to understand. We discussed this. To manifest those pastimes, to deliver, just like Dandakaran Rishis, they wanted to associate with Lord Ram in the mood of conjugal love. But Lord said, no, I cannot do in this form. When I will come in the form of Krishna, then I will satisfy your desires. And they become Rishichari gopis and they associate with Krishna. So now is clear? Therefore, the prime purpose of the Krishna avatar is to satisfy his unalloyed devotees. Very easy. The Lord says that he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali. Very easy. I'll just read it and you will understand. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation in the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy names, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. Krishna Varnam Tusa Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagya Sankirtana Prayai Yajantihi Sumedasa. This is the description of the avatar of Kali, or Yuga avatar of Kali, which is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tusa Krishnam. He is of the stature of Krishna. He always describes Krishna, Krishna Varnayati. And then Krishna Varnam. Tosa Krishna, but his Tosa, his skin is not Krishna, a Krishna, golden. Sangopangastra Parshadam. He is descending with his Anga and Upanga, that means Nityanand Prabhu and Advaitacharya and other devotees who are his astras. यज्ञ संकीर्तन प्रायई यजंत ही सुमेधसः. Praya means mostly, all not almost, mostly Yajna Sankirtan. By the Sankirtan Yajna Praya is worship. Yajna Sankirtan Praya Yajanti his Sumedasa. Those who are very, very intelligent, which is very rare to be found in Kaliuga, who are very, very intelligent, they have understood the process that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, we are worshipping Mahaprabhu, and by that, by his mercy, we'll go back to God. So this is all described in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what Prabhupada is saying. He predicted that this culture of Sankirtan would be broadcast all over the world from town to town and village to village. Now, my dear devotees, do you feel based on this, and this is from Shastra, Prithvi che ache yato nagar adi gram, sarvat prachar hoibe more naam. Do you appreciate that you are part of a Leela of Mahaprabhu? Well, you can only be a part if you yourself chant Hare Krishna. You cannot be a passive part. You have to be an active part. Do you feel we are fortunate? Do you really feel you're part of the Leela? No. But then we start reflecting and see how mercy of Mahaprabhu is actually going through us. Not because of us, despite us. अंग्रेजी समझते हैं इसको. Not because of us. Even though we are being engaged, still the mercy is getting distributed. I think now it is very clear. Means a preacher should always feel I am very foreign, but Mahaprabhu is somehow and Nityananda Prabhu somehow is using me to spread their mercy. Which is, there is no doubt about it that we are fallen. At least I can talk about ourselves, but there is no doubt about it that Mahaprabhu can use me and all of the devotees here to spread the mercy. Just like Lord Ram used monkeys for his mission. So this is quite interesting that we are already in the pastime. Quite interesting. Lord Chaitanya as an incarnation of Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures such as the Upanishads called Chaitanya Upanishad, Mahabharat and Bhagavatam. Mahabharat mein we have discussed that Sannyasakrit Shanta, Shanti Nishtha Parayana. This was a shloka from Mahabharata. He will take sannyas, he will be very peaceful like that. And Bhagavatam we have already discussed. The devotees of Lord Krishna are very much attracted by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. This avatar of the Lord does not kill the miscreants but delivers them by his causeless mercy. So what is the difference? Many times people say, why does not Krishna appear to kill the bad people? Then I always answer them, what if he finds you are the bad people? Then you say, अरे अभी जाओ वापस आओ, अभी आने का समय नहीं है. It's not the time for you to come. Please go back. Is it not? So people don't even realize that they are themselves the bad people. Many people who accuse Krishna as if Krishna is helpless and incapable to come now. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं. Why Krishna is not coming? अरे, is he your servant that he will come as per your wish? So then Mahaprabhu comes here who does not wish to kill people. I don't remember Mahaprabhu killing anyone. He just took chakra to make fear in the hearts of, Jagai Madai. I don't remember he killed anyone. No, he did not kill anyone. Rather, he transformed the Mayavadi sannyasis also. So that is very, very nice pastime of Srimad Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I think this is very clear the shloka is very clear. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. We'll discuss something next in Bhagavad Gita. I feel devotees must be finding Bhagavad Gita quite interesting. It appears to be simple, but there are many deep lessons to be learned from Bhagavad Gita. Yes. कौन सा? You have to see that shloka in various shlokas are there in Bhakti Vriksha book, level number 3, where there is evidences from Chaitanya Upanishad. Actually, it is taken from one of the purports of Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where he gives evidences of how Mahaprabhu is Krishna. I'm not able to remember the reference immediately. It's a whole very nice big purport. So if I find, I'll खाना नाम मनने की नौबत नहीं आती जी पे. I don't know. पता था कि I don't know what. I did not understand the deep import of the comment. So okay, so we shall stop here. You have a question? Okay. Speak in the mic. Mic is close to you. Yeah. Speak in the mic, otherwise devotees can't hear. Giving Bhagavad Gita class is my highest sense gratification. Put like this, I don't feel happy without it. Yes.
You gave example like Ravana was given a boon that he can only be killed by a man. So Krishna took a form of a man.
Lord Ram came as,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he took a form of a man means.
See, you have to become Saragrahi. If I quote Sanskrit, Parabrahma Narakriti is always Narakriti. Lord Ram is always Narakriti. When we speak in the class, there can be ways of saying like this. When he assumes the form, if I say assume the form of a human being, now it doesn't mean that he became a human being, because from the point of Tattva, we have already clarified that he manifests his form. So, okay, you can say manifest his human-like form. That's not something common. Let's say Prabhupada says Radha Krishna were one, and then they became two. So they say when. So it's a matter of language. Language has a limitation. We have to obey our parents because we are aware of that we might get beaten. Oh, acha, acha, acha. But my dear devotee, please remember, if we don't obey Krishna, we will also get beaten. Atma Prabhava Ishwaram. If we don't worship Krishna, we will be nicely beaten. Life after life. In this lifetime, we only get beaten by the parents, only this lifetime. And that's also till the time we grow up. But if we don't serve Krishna, we will be beaten by Maya, life after life. What is that shloka? Krishna bhuliya jeev anadir bahirmukh ate maya de tar sansar dukh. Is there any lila of Markanda Rishi where only see Lord Krishna island during the parallelization? It happened during Pralay till Maharlokan. Yeah, what is the difficulty? You read Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto. It is described. Markanda Rishi sees the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we can. Okay, so we'll relieve the devotees here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.